Let's zoom in now on the third branch of our state government. Mirroring what we saw at the federal level, we have got the judicial branch of the state of Indiana. The judicial branch, just like our federal government, is usually considered to be the weakest branch of the three that we have in state government. Their job is the same as it is at the federal level. They are to interpret state laws. And we've got three types of courts in Indiana. We've got lower courts, appeals courts, and a state Supreme Court. So let's look at each one of those. The lower courts, we have criminal and civil courts. Remember, we talked about those two types of laws a few weeks ago when we looked at criminal and civil law. Criminal courts are where you're going to wind up if you commit a crime. And so their job is to administer justice for crimes that are committed. Civil courts are where you go if you have a dispute involving money. And so the awards there are cash rewards, not jail time or anything like that. In Indiana, we elect our judges. And so we have judicial elections every 6 years in Indiana at the local level. And so in certain cases, they may have jury trials. And so as a citizen of Scott County, there are a couple of different ways you register, but every January, the jury pool comes out. And so probably sometime or another during your life, you will be at least on the list to be eligible for jury duty. I don't know that that's something that happens a whole lot in Scott County. We don't have a lot of those trials, but it could be there. And so all cases start at this level and then work their way up. The Indiana Appeals Court is the second highest court in the state. These are the 15 members of the appeals court. When you're appealing, basically the defense or the plaintiff is saying there was something wrong with the trial or there was something wrong with the ruling in the trial that was held at the lower courts. There are no juries here. 3 of these judges come and hear the case, and then they issue written decisions regarding what they think should happen. The appeals court travels every once in a while. A couple of times during my time here at Scottsburg High School, the appeals court has come and used McLean Hall to hear cases. Kind of neat to go over and see how that process works. These appeals court judges are appointed by the governor, and they get tenure terms as appeals court judges. The last one is the Supreme Court. Supreme Court chamber that you see here is in the Indiana State Capitol. And so that's one of the things, if you take a tour of that building, you can see that. There are 5 justices on the Indiana Supreme Court. We talked about there being 9 at the federal level, but there's 5 here. The current Chief Justice as of 2020, December, is Loretta Rush. And this is the highest court in the state of Indiana, and so it has the final say on interpreting laws in our state. Now, decisions made in state Supreme Courts can be appealed to the United States Supreme Court. And so even though the Indiana Supreme Court is the highest court in our state, it still has to answer to our federal Supreme Court. The justices of the Supreme Court are appointed by the governor. There's a list of people that are there. They get a 2-year term when they're appointed, and then they get retained. So they get 10-year terms of retention after that. So you serve 2 years, then you go on a ballot, and so you'll see these people on elections. Should so-and-so be retained? You're probably not going to know their names or ever heard anything about them. Some people don't vote for them. Some people, I'm sure, vote yes. My dad says he always votes no, just to be contrary, I guess. But our justices, unlike the Supreme Court in the federal government level, do have to stand for election, and they are forced to retire at the age of 75. And so if a judge isn't retained, then the whole process starts again. 2-year term appointed by the governor, and then they stand for public election. So we've got an interesting scenario here that we want you to take a look at. This is going to be kind of your mini assignment for this particular unit. And so we've got a story for you that will appear on Canvas, asking you what you would do if a student got caught selling pirated DVDs at school, and then the school searched their backpacks to find what was going on. And like I said, all this stuff is outlined on Canvas for you to take a look at.